Alright, what's going on YouTube? Creeper Death bringing you a brand new video today. And today we're going to be going over McCree tips. I said in my last Overwatch and Chill video that for 100 subs I would do a McCree tips video instead of Overwatch and Chill. And I am here to fulfill that promise. Now, it is going to be more than one video. I'm going to make two, probably two, maybe three. I don't know, it just depends on how long these run. So, we're going to go over settings in this video, because I get asked that the most. I get asked the most, like, what I use, what settings I use, and things like that. So this first video is going to be all about that. If you don't care for my settings and what kind of controller I use, then you can just go ahead and go over to the next one, but it probably won't be up until tomorrow. Today's Thursday, tomorrow will be Friday, so yeah. Keep that in mind. Starting off, I'm going to start talking about what controller I use. And disclaimer, I don't use a Zim. I get accused of using a Zim so often. It's kind of annoying because my shot is not that good. My shot is not good enough to think I use a Zim for. So I don't use a Zim. I just use a regular controller. I don't even use a scuff. So yeah, that's what I use, a regular DualShock 4. The only thing different about my DualShock 4 compared to the one that came with the PlayStation 4 is that mine is blue, and I have a Control Freak on my right stick. I use a Control Freak on my right stick. It is a sniper one, and I use that over the other Control Freaks because I like the domed stick more. I just always like dome sticks more than I liked concave or convex or whatever the fuck they are. So that's what I use. I use regular DualShock with Control Freak. My settings. Now this is what I get asked the most about. I get asked the most about my settings. My settings are 45/45 sensitivity on both. I like them to be equal. I used to play a little differently, but I'll get to why I played on that now in a minute. With 100% aim assist, I don't like to play on anything lower than 100%. I'll also talk about why later. I don't have vibration on. I don't have all of this. I have all this stuff off, and I play on dual zone. I used to play like everybody on exponential ramp, but when dual zone was introduced, I switched over because I thought I could be more accurate and more consistent on dual zone, and that is what you want in a sensitivity and in your settings. And it's in your gameplay in general. You want consistency over everything else. Consistency is what is most important. So going over why I play 45/45, I play 45/45 because I thought it made me the most consistent. I can play on like a 50/50 or even 60/60 and do well, but I wasn't consistent on it, and I didn't like how I was inconsistent. Like, I'd have games where I would just be dropping bombs and hitting heads left and right, and then sometimes I just wouldn't be able to hit the simplest of shots because my shot would just wobble too much because of how high the sensitivity was. I used to play on 40/40 even. I switched it down to 40/40 after I didn't like 50/50. And I didn't like 40/40 because it wasn't quick enough. I couldn't flick shot adequately. What I mean by flick shotting is that, like, starting here and then flicking over. I couldn't do it very well, not consistently, which flick shotting isn't supposed to be, I guess, consistent anyway. It's definitely an inconsistent form of shooting, but it's still something that I like to do, and it was harder to do when I played on 40/40, and so I was in the middle ground, and I tried 45/45, and I love 45/45. And I've used 45/45 ever since. I haven't changed it at all, actually. There hasn't been one moment since I started playing on 45/45 that I changed it. And I play on 100% aim assist because aim assist is so important in console shooters. Now, people tell me, that's the second most question I get asked, is why I play 100% aim assist. Because, I mean, it's just better. Like, I would say all of these settings are personal preference, and you can just ignore most of what I'm saying. But aim assist, I feel like, is very important, and you should use it all of the time, 100% on everything. It is only there to help you. And people will say, oh, but if somebody's running behind whoever you're shooting at, it's going to pull your crosshair. Yes, it will, and that's unfortunate, but it happens so infrequently, I've found that it doesn't matter. Like, it's honest. It's almost infinitesimal. Like, and let's look at something real quick. Okay, so I have 116 hours in quick play. I have essentially an hour. So what do we at? 200, 127, 152, 152 plus 80. I have over 200 hours on McCree, and I can honestly say I can't think of a single time where I've just been like, oh, that aim assist, oh, it got me. It's because it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. And I think you should use 100% aim assist, and that's that. Moving on to my crosshair. I don't know why people ask about my crosshair. My crosshairs are completely personal preference. I use a teal crosshair, a teal short crosshair. I don't know why I use a short crosshair. I just liked it the most. It's like the most shooter-esque, I guess, you know. And sometimes I use a dot though. I will change it up from time to time, and I will use a dot because I just like to spice it up a little bit, you know. It's like being with the same girl for 20 years. You know, you sometimes just gotta spice it up and get a little strange going on. So I'll switch to a dot. And I used teal because I didn't like white. I thought white blended in too much with stuff. And I used to use green, but then I thought that green was a little too vibrant and it hurt my eyes a little bit, which sounds like a really pussy thing to say, but it did. And so I switched to teal. It was a nice middle ground, and I like teal a lot. That's why I use teal. Okay, well that wraps up this video. Like I said, yeah, most of the stuff is completely personal preference, but I just thought I would make the video anyway because my settings are what I am asked about the most. Now the next video will be over practice, and we'll go over ways that I practice to get better, and I'll probably go over aiming techniques, because there are different styles of aiming and different ways that people like to aim, and so we'll go over that, and I'll talk about those, and what you should do, and some common misconceptions about aim as well. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is Creeping Death 444, and I'll see you tomorrow.